Hi everybody, welcome back to the Albus Man and Faces podcast. 3 podcasts in a week, Deka. 3? It's going to be 4 actually.
I feel like I'm on the door, it's amazing.
We need to again. Right, so shall we just dive straight into a review of the Spurs game?
Whatever you want to do.
Right, so your prediction last week, you said we were going to piss it.
Yeah,
I think were your words. Nah, I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of that you got it wrong. Nah, you got it partially right.
Yeah, well, it was funny when them scored, I was like, well, I did say they'd score 1. And then when we scored so quickly, I was like, is it 3-1's coming in?
Well, your prediction, my prediction, Bestie's prediction, were all wrong within 12 minutes.
Didn't he say... What did he say? I thought he said we're going to get beat, he said, didn't he? Bestie?
Did he?
And then he tried to slide to a draw to try and be like...
Did he say 2-1?
I thought he said 2-1.
Oh, did Bestie get it right?
I think he did,
Oh, shit. Sorry, Bestie, if you listen, sorry, Bestie. We'll apologise.
Well done, Bestie.
We'll not invite him back if he's getting things right.
That's very true, that's why he's not here.
Yeah, so...
He's there.
Actually, shit.
That was not cool. There was a dog barking behind me there and it was quite loud.
I'm scared. There's a dog just going to appear. So as you can see, we're back in Deka's kitchen.
Yes.
It looks like this is just a recording place from now on.
I know, it is, but it's alright, isn't it?
It's because we got bored from the pub.
Did it?
You got naked?
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
No, you didn't know you were going to do this season. Are you still going to have that bet?
No, that was bull, because what did I say? It was something like if we lose 4 or 5. No. Sorry,
if we scored 4 or 5.
That's right, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, we're 3-0 up. People were like, oh, close off. And I'm like,
so if we win a game by 4 or 5 goals this season, are you going to do this podcast in your tidy whities?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Are they going to have like Tiger Woods' face on them?
If you want them to.
Deka's really obsessed with Tiger Woods.
Yeah. If anyone watched him yesterday, I was emotional wreck last night. Yeah. I really was. It was like when my daughter was born. That's what it felt like. They didn't even win.
That doesn't sound good. Oh, he lost, but it's like what we do.
I was in the fist pumping everything. Like, it was just amazing. It was a great night. Great night entertainment.
Right. So yeah.
And I got this kebab wrap as well. I have to tell you, honestly, I do.
Shocked. Did you get tomato sauce on it?
No, I got garlic. Right. It was from the red chili, right? Mm-hmm. And it was called a jumbo kebab wrap, and I was like,
oh, it was like that big.
Honestly, when they came, I got out there, went and seen it. I was like, you seen this?
It was like Loving Kranz's cock.
It was unbelievable.
That's 2 podcasts in a row I've mentioned Loving Kranz's penis.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Well, it was like Denver bars. It was huge. It was massive, like.
So yes, Spurs. You went for the 3-1 Newcastle win, wasn't it?
I did. Yeah. So I got the lineup wrong and the score. So
well, lineup only got 1 wrong, didn't we?
Yeah, the front man possibly. Yeah, maybe. Actually, right. Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah. Were you surprised by that at all?
I was good. I'm going to be very honest. I was good.
Were you expecting to see Rondon start?
Yes, I was. I just felt so deflated, and I feel awful now because he was brilliant yesterday. But we'll come on to that. Mm-hmm. But when we seen the lineup, I was going through it. Oh, sorry, no, it was on Sky. I think it was the bottom of the screen when I was in the waiting to go on the glass. Posh seats. And I was like, oh, Dubravka guy, yeah, and it was all the way through, and then it was just really a surprise to see him on. I really thought Rondon would have played like, but.
Were you really that shocked? I wasn't that surprised when I saw Yossele's name there, because I thought it would have been very similar to last season's team. Obviously, the only change was because of Clark, injury to the
Yeah.
But as in regards to Yossele, I wasn't surprised to see him starting. And at the end of the day, it didn't really do any harm, did it?
Oh no, not at all. I think it might just be, the game before, the pre-season game that we went to see. Mm-hmm. And I know it's only pre-season, you shouldn't judge it, but he looked so bad. Yeah. And to me, it just looked like he looked like a player that already knew that there was someone coming in to replace him.
Someone just to replace him. Yeah.
But having said all of that, though, I mean, when he seen the team sheet, I don't know when. Obviously, then would have found out maybe Friday, whenever. He must have thought, "Whoa!" Like, maybe even he was surprised he was starting. So,
So, as in starts go, it wasn't really the greatest of starts, conceding in the 8th minute.
Yeah.
To a goal. To be honest with you, I had only just sat down when we conceded the goal because the box office was ridiculous.
I have to go for a ticket, like.
Yeah, well, I gave my season ticket away, and I was sat in the Milburn side, so the opposite side of where you sit. So you've got you corporate then. Milburn. Yeah. So I was sat over there from one of the lads from work.
Oh, right.
I had to collect the tickets before the game.
Oh, right.
Mate, you should have saw the queues.
Well, what time did you go though?
Well, we first went to the box office at. It was... What time was the kick-off? 12:30?
12:30, yeah.
It was about 12:05 and the queues were ridiculous. So I went, right, we'll go and have a pint and hopefully they might die down just before.
Yeah, go there.
Worst mistake ever.
Even busier.
Got there about 20 past and it was mainly season ticket fuck-ups.
Oh, well, mine hasn't come. But I went, luckily I was at work, so I went in Friday and got a ticket. But when I went, because we get in 2 hours before, I went at 10:30. But actually it was about 10:15 and it was rammed in.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, look how busy it is now.
Well, the bloke was coming up the line because honestly, mate, it was ridiculous. Like you're standing there for ages, and the bloke, one of the security or whoever he was, one of the stewards was coming up and saying, "Just let you know, we've asked the question about getting the match like delayed for 15 minutes. It's not going to happen. Sky have knocked it back straight away." And I said to him there, "Is it because of the season tickets?" And he just laughed and he went, "I can't comment." No. So basically, yeah, it's because the season tickets hadn't been sent out in time once again. Yeah. Like, when are they ever going to learn? Like, I can't understand the confusion with season tickets and why it takes so long to send them out.
You know about mine? I paid for mine, whenever it was, ages and ages ago. And then I went in to sort out a Magpie work for my dad. And then the woman says, "Oh, they haven't even been processed yet." That was like 6 days before we played. Then I went in the next day and they went, "Oh, yours got done at 12 o'clock today." Like, what, 5 days before the season starts, my season ticket's just been sorted. Like, that's ridiculous. No, it hasn't come.
It's like the bonuses.
Oh, exactly. That's the thing, wasn't it, when we talked about before? It's not just on the field, it's the whole...
It's everything's last minute. Everything's last minute. It's like...
so unprofessional.
We haven't got the shirt sponsor, the sleeve sponsor again.
What's happened with that?
But I
was afraid of that, you know.
Last season...
I was afraid of that.
Last season we didn't have it until a couple of games into the season, did we? Then that MRH came in, that tyre place, it sponsored a few at the same time.
I thought it was longer than a year, personally.
Year-to-year deal, apparently. Yeah. But yeah, that hasn't been sorted yet. But anyway, that's all in the back room of the club. It's nothing to do with us fans. We can't really rumble at stuff like that. No. But yeah, I sat in my seat and it must have been about the 7th minute. I sat down, and as we were sitting down, like, I saw the save and I thought, "Oh, mint, like, what a save that is." And it looked as if the players were about to carry on. And then obviously the referee points goal, Spurs start celebrating. And I've seen a lot of fans like moan saying, "Oh, it's only 9mm." But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's 9mm or over the line, or if it's took the net off the back of the goalpost. It's still a goal at the end of the day.
You had a different view to me, because I must admit, I wouldn't say I was sitting there feeling sorry for myself, but I was like, "Oh, fuck that, it's just over."
Like our luck.
It's just over that. But it goes a goal. Like, I wasn't saying that it should have not been given. I was just thinking, God, you know what I mean? Like, you're thinking, like, just that far over the line, like, it's mental, isn't it? But it is what it is.
Yeah, at the end of the pitch, and we're laughing at it.
It was like, obviously you may not have seen it, but just how the corner even came about was just so sloppy. Like, it really was. It was so... I always have said that defensively, I always think we're really strong, and I just think that we need to concentrate on the top end of the pitch. I really feel that we're well drilled. The opening of that game, like, we didn't look well drilled at all.
In regards to defence, mate, you wouldn't think that defence played alongside each other for the majority of that championship season, because Clark and Lascelles looked shaky, really shaky.
Lascelles looked shaky. I thought Dummett looked like, well, he hasn't played much pre-season. I thought you could tell in that game, like, he didn't look. The only
problem I have with Paul Dummett is the whole, like, he can't just take like a touch. It's got to be two, and he's got to stop the ball and then move it that way. And like, you feel as if when the ball comes in, it seems to slow the pace of the game down, especially if it's like an overlap going down the left. And see if like Shelby passes at Dummett just to carry on running. He seems if he stops the ball first, then looks around and see what he can do with it, and everything stops.
Textbook and slows to make sure he doesn't make a mistake, but it slows the game up.
I've got no problem with him defensively, nothing. I don't.
He wins every header as well that comes his way, and he can read the game well. He's good. He's very good at the defensive side of the game. He's just frustrating.
He does a job at left back, a very decent defensive job, I would say. But in regards to going forward, I think that's probably why we needed to invest in a left back, someone that was more attack minded. And I think it's probably going to show this season, especially when you look at that side of the pitch and you look at Yedlin and Richie, who was over there at the time, and it was just non-stop between those two. And it's a shame I haven't got that both sides of the wings.
Exactly. I mean, I thought personally, I actually thought Yedlin didn't do it enough on Saturday. I felt that he had space to run into quite often, but again, just stopped and went back to themselves. I know I'm not saying you can go forward every time, of course you can, but I just felt that...
He's probably still knacking off that run that you done against pre-season. We got one boxer next in about 3 seconds.
I mean, that game, he was actually really good in that pre-season game. And he was just
surprised he didn't put his hammy.
But that it's annoying because And that's how you feel like it's definitely better than the other side, I think. But then the alley goal, out of all the people as well, out of all of the people.
It could have been worse, mate. We'll come on to this later. It could have been worse. Okay? So, I think they had the lead for... It wasn't long, was it? It was about 13 minutes or something daft like that. It wasn't long at all. And obviously, the ball Richie put in for Joselu was pinpoint. Unbelievable. And Joselu's header was second to none as well.
Perfect.
Like, that goal was just... Everything about it was perfect. Like, the position on the pass, everything.
The whole build-up was great. And when Richie just injected that little bit of... Not pace, I just mean pace to the move.
Yeah.
That he took one touch and just got it in there.
Yeah.
So the fullback couldn't get anywhere near him. He just took one touch and got it in. And as you say, Joselu did well. He looked unmarked, but when I seen the replay, he did well. He kind of ran in the box and then moved away.
Yeah, he did.
I just lost him. You know what I mean?
He ran and dropped, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a great header. Really.
It seemed like he was in the air forever. Like, absolutely forever. Now, to be honest with you, I was chuffed a bit that he got that goal. Because the backlash which was on social media when that team was announced, and like you say, you weren't happy with
no, I wasn't.
The start.
I didn't go on social media, but I can imagine what it must have been like.
It wasn't good. And once again, he was being getting pelters on social media by certain fans who think it's okay to do that. But he deserved that goal, like, and for the rest of the game, he played well. I don't think he was bad at all.
No, he was all right. There's a few times he lost the ball, but I mean, there's no player not going to lose the ball. I know we'll come on to it, of course we will, but the pass he made for Kennedy, which will come, was absolutely brilliant.
Unbelievable.
And I actually felt, out of everybody, I felt a bit up. Well, again, we'll come on to subs later, but I felt a bit sorry for him coming off because I thought he actually played very well.
Yeah. In regards to the second goal which we conceded, which turned out to be the match winner, your mate was on the end of that, Dele Alli, and it just seemed cross after cross from that right wing. There was just someone waiting to put it in the back of the net, like every single time.
I honestly shouted. I went, God, look at him at the back post. I didn't even know it was Ali at the first time, and then it didn't get crossed. It didn't happen. I thought, it's all right. They'll sort that out. And then within like a second later, the ball then went across. And when I've seen it back, you see Richie pointing at Ali. A couple of times he's pointing, going, you need to get him. Yeah. Sometimes when there's no one going to him, you have to just go yourself.
It was confusion between Yedlin and Lascelles, and we saw that quite a lot last season, didn't we? Yeah, it was just before midway of the season. There was a few times where Yedlin
ripped apart by the mask guy off. Was it Watford, I think it was?
Yeah.
Ripped apart on that side of the field, and it was the same thing. Richie pointing and Yedlin saying, "Oh well, I'm marking this guy." There's communication seems to be an issue. Like
it just I 100% agree, and it just seemed like once again there was another player just waiting to just put that on the back. It was a great header. It was straight back across goal.
Was superb, man. Yeah, because it was one of them where at first I thought the keeper could come and get it, but it had that much bend on it that even Dubravka come and actually I can't get that. Yeah, it's too late.
It was 3-headed goals, wasn't it?
It was. Yes.
And every single cross which was coming in the first half was unbelievable from both teams, from ours and from Spurs. But I think after we conceded that goal, it seemed like Spurs just stepped back, and I think from the majority of the rest of the game, we were just pressuring them non-stop.
There's no question that you can't say we didn't play poorly. We can't say we didn't try. You know, we're really trying, and we hit the woodwork a few times in the second half. And out the second half, I don't think Dubravka. Well, he did make one save, which we'll come to.
Two on top of my head.
We're really good. Yeah. But I never felt under pressure at any time in the game, even when they were 2-0. I still didn't really feel that we were like.
I always thought there was a chance to get back into it.
I did as well.
And even when you win it, to be fair, even though we're 2-1 down, I thought there was a chance there.
I think we would have won it, But that's maybe been a bit too.
Well, that was just after half time, wasn't it?
Pretty soon after.
Yeah, so the first chance we had after half time was Diarmi hitting the post.
Do you know who played the ball at him? It was a hell of a pass. Because he was totally unmarked. I thought it was Shelby, but it was like a Shelby
I might have
pass.
it in my notes. Got notes today, look at this.
He's prepared.
Prepared today. So, who passed in Diarmi? No one. Thank you, Chronicle Report. You haven't even told me.
Well, whoever it was.
Unless I've deleted it out of the thing.
Whoever it was a hell of a pass. And his first touch was meant, I thought this is it.
Yeah, but so it was 51 minutes in the second half when Joselu, he locks up and he just sees Kennedy and he has a space and outside of his boot just cuts through players. Unbelievable, wasn't it?
It was.
I didn't realise it was Joselu at the time. And like later on I was like, fucking hell, he scored a goal, and that's a fantastic pass. That, like, if that had been Shelby, we'd all be whacking ourselves off silly, wouldn't we?
I would have been.
You would have been. You would have been.
No, it was absolutely brilliant.
The only problem, Kennedy had too much time, and his first touch was Horrendous.
Do you know, I'm going to say something which will probably get laughed at here, right? But I'm going to say it anyway. Do you know how Joslu, and this is not, I'm not trying to blame Joslu, I'm just saying how it works. Right. But you know, outside the foot, when the ball was spinning loads, when Kennedy controlled the ball, it just went. Do you know what it is when it's spinning like that and you try to take a touch? It just, and I'm not saying he still should have done better, but the way that he hit the ball of him had so much spin on it. When he touched it, the ball just went away from him straight away, and it was so unlucky. And I thought, you know, when the ball was going over there, I thought, there's no one I'd rather it fall to than him. Yeah. So I thought he's just going to just easily finish this off. You know?
I think his first touch was bad, and it meant Lloris could basically come and pick it up. But I think what he tried to do, Kennedy, after that bad first touch, he's tried to take it around Lloris, and Lloris has just laughed it off and just thanks.
Well, we still spilled it though, and then Kennedy managed to get it back in the box. So there was still a bit of a, it just wouldn't drop for a but that was a hell of a chance.
Yeah. Well, was it that one where it was just like getting knocked around the 6-yard box for ages? Then it was someone
Perez had a hell of a strike.
Is that what it was?
No, that was another incident similar. The ball bounced to Perez and he shot and Lloris somehow got down that one.
Then it just rolled across the 6-yard box coming out over, and it was just a Spurs player went and just.
I found that a lot of the game that
second ball.
Them seem to get everyone.
Yeah, I've been seeing this for the last 30 years.
It's just everyone they seem to get, and I was just like, and I'm not saying this because it was a lack of effort from us. It was just the way that it was falling sometimes.
So, in regards to attacking wise, we had so many chances at the very start of that second half, but then it flipped over for about 10-15 minutes, and it just seemed to be Spurs non-stop. And like I said, there was 2 great chances for Spurs, and both of them fell to Sissoko.
I felt that once Kennedy missed that chance, we lost a lot of momentum. Like, I don't know if it was because we seemed to be really ahead of steam, and then when he missed that opportunity, we just seemed to really be deflated, and then them really come out.
It's one of those where you're sitting watching and you're thinking, that's a chance. We're not going to get another chance like that, but it happened. We did get another chance like that, but we'll get on that soon. So Sissoko, I think his first one, he took a shot, Dubravka saved it. Second one, where he heads it, when he was in the air there, I was like, oh no, this is in the back of the net. But the first one that he took when he shot, he was actually running away to celebrate. He was actually mid-celebration. Then Dubravka picked it up.
What a save.
And I thought, no, like, I'm not Dele Alli's biggest fan, but I would rather him score again than Sissoko, because you knew he was going to lap that up. Rightly so.
Of course.
He was going to lap that up, wasn't he?
To be fair, and we give him a lot of shit. So of course, if he scored, he'd be like, just in the stands and that, he'd be just got mental.
When he had it, I was like, oh no. Like, I had that horrible feeling. No one's an ex-player, and you know for fine well they're just going to.
Did you think it was in? I thought as soon as he on the volley, the one that.
I thought both of them were. I thought his shot wasn't. I thought the header was going in. And I think that happened within minutes of each other, if that. But going down the other end of the pitch, we saw Rondon come on. Who
looks an absolute mountain of an animal.
Is he a rugby player?
He's just, when he got like, once I think someone behind me shouted, oh, he's coming on, Rondon. And I like looked at the bench, and like when he's standing there ready to come on, I was like, fuck. I think the cells is huge. Like, I really do, but he just towers. He's just massive.
Well, when he was warming up in the first half, and I was sat with one of the lads from work, I was sat with Chris, and he was warming up, and like I was watching him, and I just looked at Chris, I went, I hope he doesn't run like that when he's on the pitch, because he just seemed like so heavy-footed and just such like a fridge. He just seemed like a fridge. And I thought, I hope he's going to be a bit more agile than this on the touchline. When he came on, he done quite well when he came on.
He did alright. He didn't look.
He looked off the pace, didn't he?
He looked off the pace. He didn't look fit, but like I think within 2 seconds, Sanchez came towards him. He just literally bounced off him.
Like, right. Absolutely bounced off him, like going in the corner.
Yeah, that's right.
Going towards like Strawberry Corner, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's no doubt he's, if you give him a run of games and gets his fitness up, he's going to be a real handful. Like I think.
Was that the first sub of the game? Was Rondon the first? He was when he came on quite early. I think he came on about. Yeah, it should be. I think he came on about 60 minutes. Off the top of my head, I might be completely wrong. Like, don't know. Doesn't say. Oh, it does. No, doesn't say.
Nah. It's got a new man.
Doesn't.
Must have a number. Has he have one? Oh, that's just the score.
That's just the match reports. No, it doesn't say. But he was the first sub. He came on for Joslu. He done well. Second substitution was Richie for
absolute shocker.
Did you see Richie's reaction before he even left the pitch?
Yeah, well, because there was a break and play at the time, and I think people were just drinking some water and stuff, and then obviously he was, and I seen
Richie was right near Rafa, wasn't he?
Like, me, and I was like, and even I was like, no, surely not.
I thought it wouldn't have been him. Like,
no, I didn't think so, because Kennedy, the first half, done some unbelievable skill. Like some of the best.
I haven't even mentioned that. That was like back in Ben Arthur days. That
it really was. He went past 3 or 4 of them as if they went
twice.
But there's no end product of it though. Like, and I'm not saying that there has to be all the time, but yeah, all right, he's went past 4 players and that's it. Second half, he didn't do anything. No, I thought he would have come off.
Do you think the reason Richie went off because he had just picked up a booking, and he was still like after he had picked that booking up, he was constantly having to go at the referee? Do you think Rafa's thought, nah, get him off? But Richie's always had that in his locker, hasn't he? Like always.
It can only be that because, like, personally, I thought Richie deserved to stay on more than Kennedy in the second half. You know, well, bearing in mind the first half he set the goal up anyway.
Yeah.
Like, Kennedy never got that byline once that I remember, and I can't remember him getting to the byline once.
Kennedy, I don't think
he wants to come inside.
Yeah, he wants to cut inside.
Even he's a leveler, he wants to cut in. I'm not knocking him at all. I think he's fantastic, and as I said this last week, I love how he loves to get at players. What doesn't help him, mind you, is Dummett will not go beyond him. It doesn't help him at all. But I just felt in the second half, I really felt that Richie gives you that energy, man, all the time. Gives you energy, and
I said last season, like I've never been Richie's like biggest fan, but I'm seeming to appreciate him a lot more now than what I ever did. And pre-season, we're looking at selling him, and that would have been a huge mistake. Looking at that now, that would have been a huge mistake because we said on the last podcast, he's the type of player that influences every other player around him. If he's grabbing his arse off, everyone else is gonna like stand up their arse off.
Like you literally see him shouting at players, what you doing, like work or whatever. You know what I mean? You need players.
It just seems a bit strange how we're looking at offloading Richie, and I know we're looking at bringing Townsend in, but we're looking at offloading Richie. But when you still have the likes of Atsu, Murphy, and Aaron's there. Aaron's hasn't even got a squad number this season, man. Like maybe we were trying to get rid of those, but surely selling Aaron's would have brought in the same amount of value as what Richie would have.
Well, no, I wouldn't say.
You not reckon?
No. So you think you could sell Aaron's for the same money?
What were we looking at selling Richie for?
I think it was 10, wasn't it?
I thought it was 8.
Well, you can't get 8 for Aaron, sure.
In this market, you not reckon?
Nah. If he's 8, I've got to be worth 2. Surely.
Do you reckon it's maybe I'm thinking of Aaron's back in.
You could sell Murphy.
Yeah. But I would take him for his loss.
I said this from almost from the when I heard the rumour was I'd love to get Townsend back because I do think he's a great player, but not at the expense of Richie though.
Yeah,
you need to keep him as well, and I'd have Kennedy and have real options. You know?
Yeah.
Personally, I'd love to see Kennedy play in the
10 role. That's been mentioned a lot, hasn't it?
And then Richie the other side would be fantastic.
What do you think about Atu's once he came on?
Oh, dreadful.
He was poor, wasn't he?
Dreadful. But I'm not knocking him. I'm only calling this.
It's the first game of the season.
Of course it is. And he came on in a game which. Sometimes it's hard, isn't it, to make an impact. He wants to come on and make an impact.
There was a lot of expectation, wasn't there, for him?
Everything just seemed to go wrong. Every touch went wrong, and just nothing worked for him, did it? Not at all. I think
he's just like one of those players. I think we spoke about last week. He's just in that in between, isn't he? He's not Premier League quality. He's probably too good to be Championship. He's just in that horrible thing.
He has moments though. He'll have moments this season where he will come off the bench and absolutely rip teams apart.
Yeah, you'll tell him in your arsehole.
Oh, this is it. But the problem you've got is he's never going to be consistent enough. So he's going to have like 4 or 5 sub appearances where you don't even know he's on.
Yeah.
He'll have 2 or 3 where he's amazing. It just is what it is, I guess. But it was a shame because I felt that when he, looking back now, it's always great.
Hindsight, yeah.
He should have never come off Richie. Really, when you look at it like that, but. It is what it is.
The next sub was Mudu came on for Perez.
Again,
what do you think?
Well, I thought Perez was dreadful the second half as well. Dreadful.
Perez done the thing which I was saying last week that I didn't want him to do this season. Running into players, losing the ball, and not getting back up on his feet and trying to track it down. He just sat on his arse, and I really want Perez to do well this season. I really do want him to do well. I want him to have a great season. I don't dislike him as a player. I just think this part of his game where he just sits on the ground, he doesn't even roll around, he just sits on the ground and moans. It's like, I don't want to see that.
He just offered nothing that second half. Nothing. Not a thing I can remember anyway.
So Mudu came on and he looks half decent, doesn't he?
I was impressed by him.
He looks like a grafter, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's intelligent as well. Some of the runs he was making in between the lines and stuff, and he was 1 minute left and he was picking up on right. It's impossible to mark a player like that. It's impossible because you just can't do it. But he looks quite quick as well. He looks quick, but he looks like he's got an engine on him that'll just run forever.
I think he'll do well.
I think he will. I was really impressed with him, to be honest with you, when he came on. He looked like he had tidy feet. Don't get us wrong, again though, it's only over 10 minutes he was on, but there were signs there that I thought he looked intelligent in terms of his movement off the ball.
Yeah.
He's got pace, he's got an engine on him. He looked good to me, I really did. And it's good competition for Perez though, because now Perez knows, actually really we've got the same player almost again. That's what Perez does. Perez runs around, tries to get in the channels, all the rest of it. So to have two players like that, that might bring on Perez.
Give a bit of a kick up in the arse.
Because at the minute, let's be fair, we haven't got another player that can play that role that Perez does. So really he's guaranteed to play really every week, almost every week, unless he moved Kennedy there, which I don't think he ever will.
No.
So bringing Muto in.
Because you take Kennedy off that wing, and who are you going to put on that wing that's going to do it the same job as what Kennedy is? You're not going to find anyone to do that, are you?
No. But I was impressed with him. I thought he was okay. How were you doing?
After those 3 subs came on, was when Rondon hit the crossbar. Well, Shelby puts him through, didn't he? Shelby puts him through, and Rondon, like, I thought I was in. Like, that ball just seemed to take ages to drop, didn't it? And I thought, this is in. Like, Lloris was just watching it like this, and I thought, it's gone in. I was mid-celebration. I was like Sissoko earlier on in the game.
Do you think that we had moments there on in a football stadium when that happens? You know, you literally feel that time stood still. Yeah. It's like an advert in slow motion or something. Even to the point where, you know, when he controlled it and whoever was marking him just bounced off him. Even for him to take the shot seemed to take forever. Yeah. He had it and I was like, hit it. And then he did hit it. Obviously, you're right what you say. It seemed to be in the air for...
And then it just dinks off the ball and you think, this isn't going to be our day, is it?
That's exactly what my dad said. He went, it's just not going to be our day.
And there's been so many times like that though, but yeah, we lost the game, we had the chances. The game as an overall, I was quite impressed with the team.
I was pleased. I came out and I didn't really have anything bad.
There's no anger, was it? There's no anger there. It was the only bad thing about that game, Yedlin's injury. We don't know exactly what's happened here. But the way Yedlin went down, it didn't. For him to go down at that point of the game, it didn't look good. The way he's holding on, he was like he left the ground on crutches. Yeah. We're gonna have to wait for the next couple of days to see.
He definitely what comes back.
Oh no, I'd be very surprised if he plays Cardiff.
You've got a few issues there. If you play
Manquillo, innit?
Change formation.
It's gonna be Manquillo.
Oh God.
I know.
See, I'd rather play 3-5-2, and I'd rather.
Well, Sterry can play. I'd rather see Sterry than Manquillo.
I think that he's the backup, but again, I don't know.
I'd rather see him play than Manquillo.
I'm with you on that one,
yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
It's
I'd rather play 3 centre backs.
I think losing, say, obviously we've lost Lejeune for what looks like the majority of the season, if not the full season. Yeah. It'd be bad if Yedlin's picked up an injury which is going to sideline for a few months.
Well, what was your thoughts on Clark?
He done alright in the air. He always has done. Him and Lascelles they didn't look like the partnership was what they used to be.
I thought Clark was alright actually, but where we missed Lejeune is that ball playing centre half massively. Lejeune was the baller, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Lascelles can't. He just can't.
He tries.
He tries, but he can't do it. And there's a lot of times where Dubravka was wanting to play it out short, but I think even he didn't believe in the players he was going to pass it to.
A couple of times Dubravka just kicked it out of touch.
Well, he was trying. A few times he was trying to pass it to Dummer, but he overhit it every time.
Yeah.
But there was a few times we went back to Dubravka just unnecessarily for me, which would then put Dubravka under pressure. And he was trying to lob it over to Dummer, and every time.
Just went out his head, didn't it?
And I do like it when we're trying to keep the ball like that. In moments like that, Shelby's the one that has to go really deep to collect it, because I'm more comfortable with him having it than Clark. But whereas Lejeune, loads of times Lejeune used to get out to Dubravka.
Shelby didn't seem as if he took it out of the second gear, but he seemed to like cruise like quite a lot in that game. Like he wasn't like impressive, but he wasn't bad, and he had quite a steady game now, to be completely honest.
You know, did you see the bits when he was like flicking over people's heads?
Like non-stop?
Yeah. So I was listening to the Chronicle podcast today when I was in the car, and they were saying that it was stupid and he shouldn't have been doing things like that. And I was thinking that
he didn't lose the ball, didn't he?
He didn't lose the ball, but also I don't know what else he could do, because like literally the ball was
players coming behind him. He's not.
I don't know what else he could have done.
No, I thought he done well.
It was a weird comment to make that. Like, I thought he done all right. I do think he could have. I don't know. He didn't have his usual sort of real stranglehold on the game. Sometimes for us, when we're looking for a goal, everything seems.
Grabs it by the scruff of the neck, doesn't he?
He didn't seem to do that. I don't know if it's just because of who was he playing against.
At the end of the day, we've got to remember it's first game of the season. Yeah. This will come. I'm confident that. Last podcast I said I'm happy with the team. I'm confident that they'll probably do as well as what we did last season. As a team, I don't think we'll get the same league position, to be honest with you. But I think as a team they'll probably perform better than what they did last year. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous and I'm contradicting myself, but as a squad I'm happy with this squad, and I think we'll probably pick up more wins this season. But I also think with the Lejeune not being there, unless the other two players, Fernandez or Shaw or even Clark, can fill in and do as good as a job as what Lejeune will probably concede a lot more goals.
I know, that's what worries us, to be honest, because I say this every year about it, but we're never going to score enough goals. That's always been worried. We're never going to score enough in what's always been with defence, which has been rock solid, you know what I mean? And as you say, losing Lejeune. But having said that, I mean, there was periods of last season we didn't have Lejeune as well, but you know, because he was out injured. And we were still alright. I mean, it will. At the end of the day, I thought they handled Harry Kane superbly well. Didn't have on the pitch. He may be tired.
It's August, man. It's August.
He was dreadful.
He never scored in August.
And in fairness to them, apart from 2 sloppy goals, they were alright really after that.
Do you know who I'm really starting to dislike? Dyer.
Oh, he's a prick as well. He's an absolute prick.
Like, there's a couple of times when it was when Kennedy was doing his runs, Dyer was just wiping him out. And seeing the referee, he was diving.
Well, do you see when Kane did it as well? When Kennedy went past 2 and he went, and Kane literally just pushed him, and I was just thinking, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
And I hear Dyer's he just seems such a like self-righteous
prick.
Doesn't he? He carries himself like that. He's like playing in midfield. I never seen him pass the ball forward. He was shit. I thought him and Al. Yeah. I didn't like him anyway. And that's why I didn't like Spurs. They've just got a few players that's just really
they're just tossers. There's a team full of tossers.
Yeah, they are. I hate them all actually. I hate Lloris and I hate them all.
I don't mind Lloris, but the team is probably the one which is full of the most absolute bellends.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you think of it's been highlighted now, Sissoko standing on Kennedy? Do you think there was anything in there?
I don't personally, I don't, but probably many people think there was, but I don't know.
Do you think it's probably because Kennedy was having such a good game and basically taking the piss out of a lot of those Spurs players? Do you think we're probably trying to make more of this than what it actually was? Probably. Because if Kennedy was playing for the likes of Man City or Man United or Chelsea or Arsenal or someone like that, those are the players where it seems like the likes of your Stokes and your Huddersfield and that will happily go and try and take that player out of the game.
I think I would.
Yeah.
If I was playing against
him. Because he was the one controlling that midfield, wasn't he?
Right, he was. At that point in the game, he was just constantly taking the piss out of them. And rightly or wrongly, there's a level of Tottenham players were thinking, who are you doing this to us? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that it was all innocent, but I don't know. I mean, there's no action being taken on him, is there? And I kind of think that's the right thing. But having said all that, you look what Shelby got sent off in the same game last season. You know.
Is this a rule where we've got to play Spurs first game of the season?
You know that they've been away for the last 8 years. The first game of the season.
You notice that away from home. Last game of the season, they're normally at home, which I'm a little bit good about.
Hopefully there's nothing right on it.
I love last game of the season though.
I've loved it the last
like how it's at home.
Absolutely brilliant. It's been mint as well.
But so from now, I know you said that he would probably finish 17th. From that performance, has that changed at all? No, you're not even 16th. We're not even going up with 1. Can we take it up 1 for you?
No, I don't want to sound like Steve McLaren here, but I like to judge it like 5 or 10 games. It is 1 game. It's one. I tell you.
Judge me after 12 games.
Who did we play the first game of the season in the McLaren? Overtime put it.
Probably Spurs.
No, well, he put it unreal crossover and went out. 2-2
Southampton.
I thought we played mint that game.
Yeah, we were absolutely fantastic.
I thought, hang on, we're going to really do well this season. We got relegated. Yeah, so we just can't get too far ahead of it. You know what I mean? Like it was one good performance. Still lost, but it was one good. I thought they played very well.
The thing is, you've got Cardiff coming up, then you've got Man City and Chelsea, isn't it? You really want to be picking. We'll get on to the Cardiff game later on because I want to do a separate one in regards to that. But you're looking at you need them 3 points against Cardiff, don't you?
It worries the shit. I mean, don't get us wrong here. Right? Last season we lost off Spurs and Huddersfield. Right?
Sounds like recording a gate. Aircraft, I don't know, isn't it?
Just me playing coming back. So you've got. We lost them 2 games, didn't we? Remember? So we lost off Tottenham and Huddersfield, and then I think we played. I can't remember. The next home game was huge, and we did win it. It was West Ham actually, 1-3 out. But I was thinking that if we get beat off Cardiff and you've got Chelsea at home, like you could be staring 3 defeats in the face.
Which look at that though. Negative. But look at the last 2 seasons. We haven't got off to a good start the last couple of seasons.
No.
We've done well in both them.
No. That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to have that in my mind that even if we did lose the next 2 or 3. I know it looks terrible, but it's a hell of a long season.
Yeah, of course.
It's a hell of a long season. You know, so hopefully.
So you're still sticking at 17?
I am for the minute. I'm tempted to say higher because I've seen, but again it's 1 game, but I've seen Fulham look absolutely awful. Watford I still think are shy, another one. Brighton were absolutely awful.
Who are your 3 teams? If you had to pick 3 teams now to get relegated,
Cardiff are gone. Even now, might as well play again.
They'll beat one now. They'll beat one now. He said that.
Probably will. But Cardiff are gone.
5-0.
I think I still think Watford could be right down there. And I think Brighton actually.
I think Brighton and Huddersfield are going to struggle. Cardiff, yeah, you can see them struggling.
Could be a 3, to be fair.
Yeah, if I had to pick 3, I would probably pick those 3.
I would love West Ham to go down. More than anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
I know it's not, but it will be. It'll never happen, but it will be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that won't happen.
So, shall I wrap that up for the Spurs game?
I think so. Oh, I was going to ask, what did you think of the protest at the start?
Oh yeah.
Before.
I saw the videos. I wasn't there myself. I saw the videos. There was a fair couple of thousand there, wasn't it?
They looked a fair few. Like
it was good. It was a peaceful protest, apparently. Sports Direct staff got chocolate bars.
Yeah, I did think that.
Yeah.
I know they're just trying to say that they're being friendly, but I don't know. Can you imagine if the Mattons did that, man? Like, would have the life.
That is true.
Have the life.
That is true.
But
Panda pop.
It would be bad.
Yeah. It'd be a reason to take the piss out of them.
Oh, but it was, as you say, it was. I would never knock anyone that wants to do it, because it's they're trying their best to fight for something for the.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It was a peaceful protest and a protest which a lot of people think may change things. Personally, I would never slay anyone for doing it. If I had the time, I'd probably get involved to a certain extent. But do I think it's going to change anything? Do I take the piss out of someone that does? Not at all.
Yeah, no, that's my stamp as well. Exactly my stamp.
It's one of those things. It's going to grow. It's going to snowball. It's only going to snowball over the season. Yeah. And good luck.
When pricks like Andy Gray and.
Oh yes, we'll talk about Andy Gray for a little bit.
And then Shola, when all them people start.
And Shola.
When them start doing things like that, it just makes that crowd like.
Let's talk about Andy Gray first. Andy Gray and Richard Keys and Peter Reid, the knobs. Before I break my heart about Shola, right? Andy Gray reckons we spent 100 million last season.
He did say that, yeah.
Is he a fucking idiot?
Oh, you're completely idiot, yeah. Now I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm not trying to stick up for him here. But apart from what he said there, do you think he said anything right, or do you think all of it was just complete bullshit?
I can't remember what he said after the 100 million.
Because I actually thought that some of what he was saying was actually right. To be honest,
shit, someone's going to say you're an actually apologist again.
No,
wait, what did he say? What which was right?
I can't remember now, but I watched it yesterday and I was thinking, okay, right, that's fair. Okay, what the fuck he said there? Like, it was like that kind of moment. I thought there was a few things that he said. I was like, I'm alright.
The problem is,
then when he said there's 100 million thing, I was like, what are you talking about?
You've got 4 pundits here. I don't know who the third one was.
It was Matt Elliott. I thought from Leeds. Remember the defender, Matt Elliott?
I've got no idea who it was. But you've got the 4 pundits here, and Andy Gray and Richard Keys aren't the most likable people at all.
I hate Richard Keys, like.
Yeah, I'm blocked by him on Twitter.
Well,
in regards to what they were saying, not one of them spoke up and went, "Hang on, you're wrong."
Well, because they don't know.
Exactly.
I think it's because they don't know. That's
because they believe their own shit that they come out with. 100 million. Where's he got that figure from? He's just went, no, that's a reasonable amount. Only million.
I think what he said was, and people will probably have a go, but what he had said was that actually back Rafa in the Championship, he gave him they run the club as a Premier League club in the Championship, which he said was quite good. And I have to agree there, we're paid Rafa 4 million a year for the Championship. No manager's ever been paid that in the Championship.
In regards to a manager's wage, yes, but we're also sold players to fund a lot of those transfers.
I get that, I do get that, but I can't really knock what happened in that division. Well, I can knock everything before because that's we're fucking not there. But I just mean in that moment, I was like, all right, fair enough. We've getting how many players in Rafa's state, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm quite content. I wasn't happy in the January window, but I'm just saying I was happy in that summer. But when he was going on about this 100 million, I was like, what the fuck? I actually thought Peter Reid was going to say something, but
he just stood there and nodded his head.
When I watched it again, but he kind of nodded as if to go no, you're right. And I was like, no, man, it's just not
you
right
just wish someone would go, hang on a second. No, you're full of shit, mate.
You're full of shit. I just don't understand. It would be meant if someone says, right, you're 100 million. What do you tell us?
Where's get your list?
Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that figure from? It's just so, and it pisses you off because outside of our group of fans and our circle, whoever it is that watches these people, they'll believe that.
Believe it? Oh, of course.
They'll be what
especially that it's airing on the likes of beIN Sport. So it's all your overseas fans that'll be thinking, Newcastle fans expect loads. Ashley spent 100 million last year.
Exactly
no,
that.
He didn't.
Exactly that. And it is shit. It's absolute. And then all of them. And I think worse on because it was on Sky. He plays for us. He's loved by many fans. My heavens, I could not believe that.
Right. The reason fans love Shola, it's more of a... He wasn't a great player. There's no denying that.
Oh, God, no.
It's more of a little...
I think he'd get rinsed these days.
More of a little loving, isn't it, with Shola that we've got.
Well, he scored against Sunderland, which
yeah. He's a cult hero at the club. It's a little loving that we've had. A little comical loving. You could go for, like, go as far as to say.
Yeah.
A lot of fans have stuck on board with Shola because of who he is and his personality, and he done an episode of Cribs, and he scored a few goals against the Mountains. Shola, I'm looking at you. You've fucking ruined that, mate.
Oh,
like,
he's ruined it.
A lot of those fans went, what the fuck has he just said? Never ever. You might believe it. You probably do believe Ashley deserves credit. You're probably on Ashley's side because Ashley's continuously give you contracts to extend your contract in Newcastle United. He kept on paying your wages. He's still working for the club right now as an ambassador of the club. Fair enough, we understand you can't slate Mike Ashley. But never ever say he deserves credit. Never. Yeah,
he said it was even worse than that. Like, it was even worse. He was like saying that the business we've done this summer has been really good, and I was just like, what on earth are you saying? I thought what he said was 100 times worse than Manny Grace.
Right.
Oh,
because of who he is.
No, well, yes, and also it was just worse. It was.
When you look at it, on the flip of a coin, you look at Shearer's recent comments. Oh, he slated the club before.
Shearer gets it.
Shearer gets it.
Yeah.
You would think Shola would get it.
You would think so.
Do you think he does, but he's just dropped his arse when asked the question? Or do you think he's so far gone that he doesn't realise like what's happening?
I think
what has happened? Or what fucking hasn't happened, to be fair. Spending money.
I mean, even if, and I'm not saying this happened at all, right, but even if Sky says, right, we're going to ask you this question, and this is the kind of answer I want you to give, because we all know that he's got fans in Sky. Like, he has. I don't even believe Shola's the type of person that would say, oh, I didn't, but I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think Shola said that because that's honestly
he believes it.
How he feels. He feels that that's
It's poor crack from a big man, like, innit?
It was terrible. I couldn't. See, bear in mind, I didn't hear him say it live because it was when I went on Twitter.
I saw on social media, then I looked for the video afterwards.
And then when I watched it afterwards, I watched it twice, and I was like, I cannot believe what you're saying here. Like, I kept thinking it was going to get better. And I thought he's hanging himself here, but then he's going to say something.
Like, there's going to be a but.
Aye, but he didn't. He just kept going. Like, and I thought, whoa, you've really done yourself here.
I can't think of anything that Ashley deserves credit for, to be honest. Like, as an owner of the football club. Like, fair enough, the season in the Championship.
And I'm not saying that. I wouldn't say I've given credit there. I know now. It sounds like I've put like on Andy Gray's side. All I was meaning was that, like, I wouldn't say there was loads wrong with what he was saying. The 100 million was absolutely ridiculous, right? But when he was on about the Championship, I could literally sit there and go, all right, like I'll meet you halfway with that one.
Is that more because it paid off in the end? Like the whole not spending in January.
Yeah, well, that's a fair comment, because if we hadn't came up, I would have. Oh my God, like, he would have deserved to get buried for that. I did always feel getting Rafa here in the first place was, I don't know who.
The hardest thing.
I had to give credit to someone for that. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Who do you give credit to that? Somehow to get in here was.
That is literally the only thing in the last 10 years I'm ever gonna like appreciate.
No, fair enough. And I think that was a. Well, in fairness, I was quite happy he got Keegan back in the day. I was really pleased when Keegan came back. So I did give him credit at that time. I give him credit. I was like, oh, Mint, he's getting Keegan back. And then like, we've got Shearer. I was like, Mint, we've got Shearer in. And I can't lie and say I wasn't happy about their moments in the
No, I understand.
I know, my God, there's been far too much shit gone on since then. I just mean in them little pockets of moments, I was like, oh, I'm really happy with getting him in. And when we got Rafa, I was like, don't know who to thank, like, but because I don't want to openly thank you because I'll probably get shot. But thanks for getting him in, someone who and I was really happy with that. But it's just lie after lie after lie, and then to see these people like Shola, who we think understands it from our side, say something like that. Yeah, I expect it from Richard Keys and that, because he's a fucking arsehole. And he probably puts things on Twitter just to look popular again, because he's
just to get interaction.
Just to get interaction, get trending, and all the rest of it. He's probably just doing that. But when Shola does it, you're like, wow, like it'll be the same as like Kevin Nolan said it as well, like, because I always hold Nolan very high up, and if Nolan came out, he deserves it.
And you look back at it, that the first Championship season, the likes of Ryan Taylor, Barton, Kevin Nolan, Amiobi, those were the ones who were once again arguing over bonuses.
I don't know them.
Oh, Alexa.
What's Alexa download?
Doesn't like bonuses, I don't think.
But yeah, those are the group of players who were once again arguing over bonuses. Yeah, he was involved with an argument because the club wouldn't pay out what they wanted. Yeah. And he's been part of it. He's understood like the frustrations which we're going through right now. We've had it for the last 10 years. So I think it's because of what I said.
It's weird. It is weird. How like they openly admitted the shit on Keegan. I mean, openly admitted.
He's been there. He's
shit on. In my opinion, I love Bobby Robson, but Keegan was my man, like my absolute idol and hero. Like I supported the club because of him. To be fair, that's how I got involved with him. But they treat him like absolute shit. Shola obviously knows the Keegan.
He was there.
He was there. He knows it all. And then I just find it really hard to believe that he comes. Like Dennis, I was just on Sky the other day, and I was like, "Well, I know what's going to come here." And it's alright because you accept that. I can't even
expect it.
I don't even get angry at that. You know, I don't. When Wise talks, he's grabbing. I don't even get angry. Because I just expect you to say that. But when someone like that says it, you're like, "Fuck!"
It's like kicking a dick, isn't it?
Aye, it's like, how far out of touch are you? Like, it's quite crazy. It's quite crazy.
I honestly think it's because he's still associated with the club. He still works for the club. He still interacts with the club. He was given contract extensions because of Ashley.
What's he doing now for the club, like?
Ambassador, isn't he? He does a lot for the Newcastle Foundation. So he's massively involved with the club.
Maybe, but you've still...
If you know it's going to be... If you know you're going to cause an argument with the fans what you're saying, either say what you got to say, follow it up by something which you truly believe. Yes, even if you're sitting on the fence a bit, even if you say, you've got to give him credit for blah, 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 but there's that amount of money which should have been spent. Rafa was promised that money, so the fans are rightly going to question. Absolutely. Then I don't think anyone would have
really been... He could have said, because he actually said, arguably, we've brought 7 players and we're stronger than we were last year.
Which I think we are.
And I agree with that. That's what I mean. I think Andy Gray said that as well. That's what he said, that's what he said. That was the point I agree. He says, Mitrovic was never part of the plan.
Yes, he did say that.
And he said, Mbemba was in and out the side.
So
I was like, everything you're saying I agree with. It was the 100 million part that started going downhill. But if Shola said a similar thing, that we've brought in 7 players, we're stronger than we were last year, so that's all well and good.
Yeah.
And then if he had to follow that up with, but we've got, he's swimming in cash in his pool, like, that's horrendous. Yeah. Like, he should have spent that money in guaranteed. And
the fact that he's just gone and bought... I know it's his money, he can do what he wants with it, but the fact he's promised Rafa every single penny the club generates, it's his to have. Right, give him that money to have.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Then he goes out the next day, spends his own money, 90 million quid on House of Fraser. You're thinking, hang on a fucking second, mate.
I know that's a totally different...
It is, but you kind of think, why? Like, you're thinking, why? You're saying you haven't got the money to compete with clubs, but you've actually got the money, you can't spunk it on House of Fraser.
Are you one of these where, like, he saved 17,000 jobs? Does that...
Well,
careful about phrases, man. Do you think that's good, or do you think, no, fuck you? Like,
well, right, he saved 17,000 jobs. Do you honestly think he's done that to save jobs?
Oh, no.
He's done that because he's thought, I can make money off this. Well, he doesn't give a shit.
He thinks, no, I know.
I honestly don't think he gives a shit about any of his employees.
No, of course.
None of them.
No, I'm not saying he does either. No, I'm not saying he does. I just think, I don't know. I just think there's 17,000 people that have still got a job. Like, I'm not saying he cares about them. He'll not that any of them. Of course he won't. But I don't know.
He'll quickly shit on them.
Somebody definitely will have 0-hour contracts or something. He's already not paying the pension.
Well, they'll soon get sick when they're giving away mugs.
He's going to make them Harrods at the high street, isn't he, apparently? That's what he says, anyway. But no, going back to what you were saying, sorry, I totally agree that it looks just like, what? You know, it takes us like 2 months to do a loan deal with someone, doesn't it? Like, literally, like...
Oh, I buy House of Fraser 90 million like that.
Bought them, like, you went, I'll do it this morning.
Well, at first, they wanted to lend 50 million. Then obviously he's turned around, no, I'll just buy it for 90 million.
And he went, I'll do it.
How is it taking us so long to get Kennedy on loan?
I know, that's why I thought exactly that. I know it might be a different pot of money or whatever. But I was like, how the fuck can you spend 90 million in a heartbeat? Because he literally said that as well. Oh, I'll sort it tomorrow. Like, the morning we'll do it with our administrators. And I'm thinking, what? And you're taking...
Rafa waited 4 months to have a conversation with him.
I know, that's
about a transfer budget.
That's what I get pissed off with. Like, it's just ridiculous.
This is why he just proves time and time again, he does not care about this club. No, he does not give a shit.
No, he doesn't.
He cares about sports direct, he cares about the whole retailing side of things.
Well, that's why I do believe that, you know, when he says, I'm hands off with the club. I actually believe that.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what goes on there at all, except when Johnny goes, well, we
need some money.
That's the only part he gets involved in. Everything else, he couldn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Couldn't care. And he's never there. He doesn't give a monkeys until that moment.
Johnny there and Bishop was there on Saturday.
Was Johnny there, was he? Oh, I didn't see him.
Johnny's every game, to be fair. Yeah, because him and Bishop have the 2 security guards standing behind them.
Right. Well, I didn't see Johnny, like, but again, no, Bishop would do, I mean, that's great. We don't even know what he even does, like, do we?
No.
Like, I mean, again, there's no, I don't understand how that question can't be asked by somebody.
Yeah, of course.
Like, how can that not be asked like by somebody?
About vision, like, what's he getting paid for?
What does he do at the club? Because it's all just hearsay, isn't it? Oh, he's preparing. He's putting in a mould to be able to sell.
His website's full of Newcastle photos.
Is it?
Yeah.
I remember being on tonight. I had one, didn't I? But anyway, and I'll let it be a tangent there, like, but Ashley's a prick. We know that. Shola, you're with him now.
Aye. Like, you've stepped over to that side.
Yeah, you've just. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
So call it a night.
Aye. Monday night.
Right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Cheers.
We'll next be back for a review once we're beat Cardiff.
Absolutely. Hopefully.
Thank you very much. Bye.